Hello everybody and welcome back to another trip report. Today I'm here at Sydney's Kingsford Smith International Airport at Terminal 3. Today I'm going to be flying Qantas on board a Boeing 737 from here in Sydney up to Darwin for the very first time in the Northern Territory. As you can see there on the board, it says it's going to board at 9:10. And even though it's scheduled to depart at 8:50, so there's the delay. Anyways, I'm here, as I said, at Terminal 3. Connection processes on domestic flights here are super easy. You don't have to do anything. I already have my boarding pass. I got that in Melbourne. So all there is left to do now is head down to the Qantas Club and wait for the gate to be announced. So let's go down here, and then down here on the right, I think opposite gate 5 or 6, we'll find the Qantas Club. So let's go check it out. Here's the Qantas Club. You'll have access to this with Qantas Gold or Qantas Club. There's also the Business Lounge, which you have access to with Oneworld Emerald or business class. You can also get lounge passes from Qantas Silver Status and a couple other ways, I think. So if you have them, then I believe you can also use them to get into this lounge as a one-time thing. Let's check it out. Just scanned in at the Qantas Club, however, we can actually use the Business Lounge, which is just up this way, due to the fact that they closed the Qantas Club early. I do appreciate the friendly staff letting us know of that. So let's go over here and check it out.
Hello everyone, first and final boarding call for Qantas Inflight 15.
Okay, now let's have a look at the offerings here in the Qantas Business Lounge in Sydney. There's some rice crackers here. Looks like a bird or something has got into them. There's also some nuts. There's alcoholic beverages available also. I believe it's past 12 PM, which it is most certainly past that time. There's also soft drink dispensers and what's left of juice dispensers, some carrot and celery sticks, olives, chicken of some sort, some cakes here, that looks delicious. There's also some butter chicken, which I think I'm going to have with rice. And then here you also have some bread and a toaster to go with that in case you want to make a toasty. And lastly, some more rice crackers or corn chips and some celery and carrot sticks, along with what appears to be some, I forget the name, bread, like wrap thingies. But yeah, overall, that's about it for the food offerings here. It's not as good as what I experienced at the Melbourne Qantas Club earlier, however it actually looks a little bit more tasty, and yeah, it's certainly pretty good, but it's also not amazing. I've now been here at this lounge for probably a good couple hours, probably almost 2.5 or something like that. Our plane is delayed an hour and 25 minutes. It was originally only delayed 50 minutes, as I mentioned earlier, but then due to the very late arrival of our plane in from Melbourne, it's ended up being delayed an hour and 25. However, once this aircraft here has taxied out, our plane should pull in any moment. My plane for today is just about to pull into the frame. It's just taxiing over to gate number 2. This is Victor Hotel, Victor X-Ray Echo. Here it is, pulling into the gate. As I was saying, Victor Hotel, Victor X-Ray Echo is a 2002 built and delivered Boeing 737-800. This aircraft is painted in the silver livery and it has been ever since 2018. This should be my ride for the 4-hour leg up to Darwin. Alright, finally it's now time to head to the gate. To summarise my experience in the Qantas Business Lounge, it was pretty nice and quiet there, good enough to relax. It was busier than I think it normally would be this time, due to multiple delayed flights, but there was still quite a few seating options. The food was good. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but there also wasn't a lack of stuff, and the facilities in general were pretty good. So overall, I would certainly recommend the Qantas Business Lounge here in Sydney. Here's another view of today's aircraft. I'm going to assume they're international transfer passengers that arrived late off the Melbourne flight. Now time to board. There's headphones on offer here at the gate, and they'll probably be on board as well. Thank you. Finally, now time to board.
Hey there, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome on board the Qantas 737-800. There's 12 seats in business class and a 2-2 layout. I've been very lucky today. My seat for today is 4F. In the first row of economy, a bulkhead seat on the right side of the aircraft, in technical terms, or the left when boarding from the front. Has a nice view of the engine. Just got onto my seat and realised there was something underneath me. I was very pleased to see that there's a pillow and blanket provided on this flight. We'll check them out later. Welcome on board the Qantas Boeing 737-800 seat 4F, a bulkhead seat. Now let's go through the seat features. Well, as I mentioned earlier, there is a pillow and blanket waiting, which is very nice to see, and I wasn't expecting that. Legroom on this aircraft is normally 76 centimetres or 30 inches, but here it's more like 38 inches, or I don't know how many centimetres, but a lot. Either way, the legroom's a lot here, and anyone of any height practically should be able to stretch out a little bit with this seat. Keeping in mind, I'll go through later how you can try and get this seat. It's not easy to do, but there's also a tablet holder. On some aircraft there's an IFE here, however this is not one of them since it's very old. There's overhead screens that will pop down and probably play Sky News or something. There's the overhead panel. On the side here you have this audio entertainment thing, I'm not sure if it works. And in the armrest you have the tray table, which you can pull out like you would in business class. Like so. It's actually probably better than a regular economy table because you can use it half opened or fully opened. You can also pull it back and push it out. So this is designed to go on there, but you've got to be careful because it can slip off. There's also a headrest which is very comfy and adjustable, as shown here. There's also a couple USB outlets in between every seat down there, so I believe that would mean there's 4 for every 3 seats. There's no universal power sockets on this aircraft, however, that's only on the newer ones that also have IFEs. I also completely forgot that there's a seatback pocket here, which isn't as easy to reach when you've got your seatbelt tightly fastened, but in here there's actually only 2 for every 3 seats because it's just one big one, so you'll have to share. In this seat pocket, there's 2 Qantas magazines. I'm not sure if that's normally there if someone just bought an extra one. There's also some seat bags and the Qantas 737 safety guard. Overall, the seat features of this aircraft are very, very good. The usual only complaint with Qantas is the legroom, other than the entertainment, which isn't a massive deal because you can use the app for movies and stuff, and there's also free Wi-Fi. So overall, it's great seat features, and so far, I'm very happy to be on board and happy with the seat features.
please take the time now to download this via your relevant app store.
On behalf of all of us here, to welcome you aboard your flight to Darwin, and we'd also like to welcome back our Qantas, One World and Emirates frequent flyers. It's a pleasure to have everyone's company. Please place your laptop and any other larger bags in the overhead locker. Smaller bags may be placed underneath the seat in front, except if you are seated at an exit row or row 1 in business class, all bags do need to be stowed away. Check that you're in your allocated seat with your seatbelt firmly fastened, your seat back upright, and footrests and tray table stowed. Be on board this evening by respecting each other and our crew. Once again, welcome aboard. It's great to have you with us. Your attention while the flight attendants run through the safety briefing with you.
Welcome to Longreach, the home of Qantas. Give us your attention for the next few minutes to make your journey a safe one, as we take a journey through 100 years of innovation and Australian spirit.
This here's a number 504 biplane, made from timber and canvas. Not flying in a Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flashier than this old girl.
In the 1930s, Qantas fastened your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by lifting the flap. Keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. That includes infants and children.
Welcome to Australia's first international airport, right here on Sydney Harbour. Our life jackets look like this. Yours are a little more modern. You'll find one under your seat, next to it, or in the leg rest. Remove your life jacket from the pouch by pulling the tab. Put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist, clip at the front, then tighten. There's a red tag and mouthpiece for inflation, and a whistle down firmly to activate the oxygen. Put it on quickly and tighten the strap. Oxygen will flow without the bag inflation. Fit your own mask first and then help others.
In the unlikely event of an emergency, you should be familiar with the brace position appropriate to your seat. If you can reach the seat in front, brace by placing your forehead on the back of the seat, hold your lower legs or put your hands on your knees. If you're seated behind a bulkhead or you can't reach the seat in front, lean as far forward as you can.
First inflatable escape slide raft. Your aircraft today is fitted with escape slides in which the crew will operate in emergency. If you need to evacuate, leave all items behind. Slide leaning forward with your hands on your knees.
Your crew are here to help, so please follow the instructions at all times.
Whether you're starting your journey or heading home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing respect to each other and our crew. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your support.
And thank you for your attention. Have a great flight.
Thanks everybody. If oxygen is required during the flight and you're wearing a face mask, please remove the face mask before putting on the oxygen that will drop from the unit above you. Please also remain in your seat as much as possible and do not change seats. Today you're travelling on one of our Wi-Fi enabled aircraft, and to get started, connect to the Qantas free Wi-Fi network in your Wi-Fi settings, and then follow the prompts to connect to wi-fi.qantas.com in the web browser.
Never actually tested that before. That was the audio entertainment. Hopefully you could hear that. I was actually surprised to see that it does work.
To those of Craig and his cabin crew for a flight up and down. We're just passing 20,000 feet, climbing to an initial cruising altitude of 34,000 feet. A little bit late getting away tonight. Some of you would have heard me talk about the fact that large part of the east coast of Australia has had the airspace closed because there was a shortage of air traffic controllers due to a rather large number of sick callings apparently. That's held up a lot of aircraft in and out of Sydney and Brisbane. Good news is I'm anticipating a nice smooth flight the whole way up there. Darwin weather is absolutely beautiful. It's currently 26 degrees. There's just a zephyr breeze from the northeast, almost nothing. Sit back and enjoy the friendly flight service. Thank you.
Some tea and coffee.
Sorry about that, my camera started not working. They just said there's the option of pork hoisin with jasmine rice, or the other option was the chicken and grain salad. I think I'm going to go for the pork hoisin, but it's nice to see that they're doing a proper hot meal with multiple options, and I do wonder if there's going to be a snack with it. Crew are now coming around to serve the meal service. Alright, so the very friendly cabin crew just came around and gave me my dinner service. So it looks pretty impressive, like in terms of quantity. This is kind of what I'd expect from Qantas. By the way, I did get this, which is a solid size. I'll show it and see how it tastes in a minute. I did have to ask for these, however she was very happy to give them to me. And I got a lemonade and orange juice. So this is soy rice crackers, sweet chili and sour cream chips, and this is the hoisin pork. So overall, I would say that this is a great meal service from Qantas. However, the thing that will make or break the meal is always the taste. Now let's have a quick look at the meal. That looks pretty nice to me. I'll let you know how it tastes in a little bit. I've also put Sky News on just here.
So let me touching down and 17 minutes past the tree. Okay. It's been our pleasure to meet with the public. We certainly do appreciate your customs and thank you for our.
Alright, so we've just actually finally started our descent into Darwin. It's been a long flight and I'm certainly ready to get there since it's very late. Anyways, I just thought I'd quickly show you the pillow and blanket. The blanket is a pretty nice fabric. It's not amazing, but it's still pretty nice. It's not particularly thick, but you don't really need it to be particularly thick. I think it's a solid size, it would seem. And the pillow is also pretty nice. It's kind of... it's a little bit rough, but it's definitely not a big issue. It's a lot better than those scratchy pillows that you sometimes get. So the pillow and blankets are overall pretty good. Don't need them anymore though, since we'll be landing in Darwin shortly. With the cabin lights now on and the crew in their seats, and us almost being in Darwin, I think now's a very good time to start the conclusion of today's video. Okay, my camera is kindly focused, so now let's conclude today's video. My journey started at Melbourne Tullamarine. That concludes exclusion would be in a separate trip report, but the transfer process was very easy in Sydney since I got my boarding pass and everything checked all the way through. The lounge at Sydney was good but not amazing. Everything was kind of just that, except for the views, which were actually very, very nice. It's very annoying about the
The signal
delays.
signs are being switched on for landing, and it's a requirement now that customers and crew are seated with seatbelts fastened.
I would have appreciated being notified a bit more, other than on the Qantas app where I was told that there were changes, but I wasn't told what they were. Apparently, I think the captain mentioned earlier that there was some airspace closure that was affecting Sydney and Brisbane due to the lack of air traffic controllers. So that is not their fault, probably. Well, it's definitely not Qantas's fault. It's just how they managed it. I'm not too sure. Once we were on board, they were a very friendly crew, and I had lots of legroom thanks to luckily being able to get an extra legroom bulkhead seat, which I was able to do by checking the Qantas website 3 days before departure when they tend to open up the rest of the seats. I practically always look on Qantas flights and it's normally not available. I just happened to be very lucky on today's flight. But if you can manage to get your hands on one, then most certainly go for it, since it's significantly more legroom and it's also at the front, which is always nice. As for the meal service, the meal itself was very tasty, and the rice crackers and the other chips were also very nice. So overall, the meal service was great. The drink selection was also very, very nice. With the delays, we're going to end up landing in Darwin actually almost 2 hours late, which is not ideal at all, considering it's now almost 3 a.m. Anyways, to conclude, I think that I had a very nice flight on Qantas. Once on board, I enjoyed it very much, and I think they did a great job. I was also very impressed with the blankets and pillows. However, didn't love the delay. That wasn't exactly ideal. Overall, I'd say that my flight today with Qantas was actually really, really good overall. Considering everything, I think Qantas is definitely the best option on this route, considering the only two options are Qantas and Jetstar. But in terms of value for money, it's interesting how on this route Virgin don't operate. It's only Qantas and Jetstar. Due to that, because Qantas owns Jetstar and there's no other full service operator to compete with Qantas directly, the flights on Qantas on this route are very expensive, at approximately $370. If you were to fly directly from Melbourne with Qantas, it would cost $270, which is pretty crazy considering I think they're practically the same distance. So if you're in Melbourne, I didn't have as much choice. I don't recall when I booked it, but I would suggest not flying via Sydney since it's a lot more expensive. But as for the Sydney to Darwin route, whether it be Jetstar or Qantas, Jetstar at the moment has a sale, so it's $160. As much as Qantas is significantly better than Jetstar and have a great offering on this route, it's simply not worth an extra $200. Maybe consider it if you have for an extra $100 if you have lounge access, but still, it's just not worth all that money. So for that reason, I would have to say that while Qantas is a good one, the best option on this route is probably Jetstar. Anyways, I'll leave the rest up to you to conclude, and just enjoy the rest of the approach into Darwin. Not that there's a whole lot to see. start slamming onto the runway. Welcome to Darwin.
Welcome to Darwin, where the time is 17 minutes past 2. Qantas would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and the waterways on which we live, work and fly, and also pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Please remain in your seat with your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. As always, smoking, vaping and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted whilst disembarking or throughout the terminal. Have a pleasant weekend and we look forward to seeing you on board on your next flight.
The interesting thing is that despite it being almost 2:30 in the morning, it's one of the busiest times here at Darwin. In fact, when we were originally meant to land, it was probably one of Darwin's 2 peak hours, that being 12 around midday and also midnight. There's a lot of flights that come in here so most of the flights to Darwin either leave early in the morning from East Australia and arrive at midday, or like this one, leave in the evening from East Australia and get here right in the middle of the night. Not exactly the most traveller friendly times. A little bit of information on Darwin Airport. I reckon that it's kind of the Australian home of the Embraer. In fact, you can see in the background there, that's, I believe, this is also the hub for Air North. So there's 2 Embraer 120s back there and there's an Embraer 170 or something like that. As you can see here, there's lots of Alliance E190s operating for various airlines, including lots for Qantas. There's another Air North Embraer 120, and yeah, hence the fact that I think it's probably about half of the flights are operated by Embraers. We're also about to taxi past Victor Hotel Uniform Yankee Charlie, which is a Alliance Embraer 190 operating for Air North. The international flights include Singapore Airlines and Jetstar to Bali. Thank you, bye-bye.
Take care.
Can already feel the beautiful heat here in Darwin. Okay, welcome to Darwin. I think now's a pretty good time to finish up today's video. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video. A like and subscription if you enjoyed would be very much appreciated, but it's not necessary nor expected, but it'd help me out a little bit if you'd like to and you wouldn't mind. Also, check out my website if you like at aviation763.com for information on upcoming flights and easier navigation to certain airlines trip reports. Also, check out my Instagram if you like at aviation763_, where I did some live updates on today's flight and many others. I also do some little stories on my destination as well. Last but most certainly not least, thank you to all my incredible Patreons who helped to make these videos possible. Your support is so much appreciated, and I couldn't do what I do without you. I think it's now about time for me to get to bed, considering it's 3 AM Melbourne time. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next one.
Welcome to Darwin, where the time is 17 minutes past 2. Qantas would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians